You're watching Week in One. Well, Winnie Madikizela-Mandela made headlines this week, challenging a planned meeting at the Mandela family home. Her court action to stop the meeting failed, and the gathering of the members of the AbaThembu nation went ahead on Friday in Qunu. Madikizela-Mandela claims Qunu property should have been left to her in Madiba's will and didn't think it was appropriate for the matter to be discussed at the Mandela property. She's now accused two senior judges of being biased against her.
According to Winnie Madikizela-Mandela, the country's Deputy Chief Justice and the Eastern Cape Judge President are undermining the law. Dikgang Moseneke and Themba Sangoni are two of the three executors of Madiba's estate, opposing Madikizela-Mandela's bid to gain control of the Qunu home. The struggle stalwart claims Sangoni appears to be working behind the scenes to sabotage her attempt to stop a meeting called by Mandla. Her court application was struck off the roll. In a statement issued by her lawyer, Madikizela-Mandela says the manner in which this case has been handled is so suspicious to me, more so that the head of the court has a direct interest in the matter. She goes on further to implicate Moseneke, saying, "In any event, the case I am pursuing involves senior judges of the country, in that the Deputy Chief Justice is involved and the Judge President of the Eastern Cape is directly involved." The anti-apartheid struggle veteran says she played her part in ensuring South Africa had a fair justice system, but now feels shortchanged. "I personally fought for the Constitution and the independence of the judiciary, which at times I suspect is being compromised." Relations between Moseneke and Madikizela-Mandela have not always been strained. The Deputy Chief Justice represented her at Madiba's request during the Stompie Sepe murder trial. Qunu, Johannesburg.
Another well-known name was in the headlines this week, former President F.W. de Klerk. The city's renaming committee has recommended that Table Bay Boulevard be changed in honour of de Klerk, but some residents say he doesn't deserve it.
F.W. de Klerk, the last white president of an undemocratic government, lauded as one of the architects of South Africa's peaceful transition to democracy. He shared a Nobel Peace Prize with Nelson Mandela to prove it, and now the city of Cape Town wants to honour him. It's this stretch of highway that the Cape Town City Council wants to rename after F.W. de Klerk. The issue has divided the city's residents. Some oppose honouring apartheid's last president, but others support the name change, saying de Klerk's input was key in South Africa's transition to democracy.
There's nothing wrong if the street is going to be named after W. de Klerk, because why? He was the good man. He's the one who made us have the democracy in the first place.
What did de Klerk done for our people? He done nothing. Only he said Mandela for it, but that's nothing.
One expert on reconciliation says de Klerk is an individual who South Africans either love or hate.
A politician will obviously have fluctuating fortunes around the question of popularity. There may be a time when he's popular, there may be a time when he's not popular. And this may have to do with that in terms of the name of former President F.W. de Klerk.
Others believe honouring politicians will always split society.
I don't think you can appease anyone. This is the whole point. Every time you change a name, you're going to annoy somebody and maybe please some others. It's part of this divisive thing. I think we should really look at it and look at what politicians are doing and why they do it.
De Klerk's office says he will accept the honour. The City Council is expected to make its final decision in the next few months. Lester Kivet, Cape Town.
Well, staying in Cape Town and with another famous face, historians are facing up to a rather strange discovery. Research suggesting that South Africa was not exactly on the money in its portrayal of Jan van Riebeeck. Experts are now trying to identify the mystery man who appeared on our banknotes for several decades.
It's the face South Africans have come to know as Jan van Riebeeck, the man credited with discovering the Cape in 1652. But it's a little-known fact that this may not be his face after all. Historians say it's not a new discovery, just not a well-known one.
When you look at the various other portraits done by different portrait artists, they show you a totally different Van Riebeeck. This one looked like was a very beautiful political convenience.
So what did he really look like then? Historians say there are no verified images of South Africa's first settler. Statues and portraits of Van Riebeeck are believed to be artists' impressions. The face we've come to attach to the name was probably that of another Dutchman named Bartholomeus Vermeerden. But how did history get such an important fact so wrong?
But basically, that was very common practice, you know, in those days to estimate how people would actually looked like. Because the camera only came in right up in the middle of about the 19th century that the camera came. They relied, in a sense, on artists.
Bitika says it would be pointless to rectify the error now. The South African Reserve Bank says it's aware of these claims and is investigating. Bonga Dulane, Cape Town.
Police are hunting for at least 9 suspects after robbers stormed a mall in Cape Town. The gunmen smashed several display cabinets before looting a jewellery shop. They then returned to their cars in the undercover parking lot and made their getaway, but not before paying for their parking tickets.
A brazen mid-morning attack on Blue Route Mall. Actual footage of the robbery has now been released. It shows shoppers running for cover as a group of between 7 and 9 men, armed with sledgehammers and rifles, go on the rampage at Harris and Darcy Jewelers. Smashing windows and glass counters, they stole everything they could get their hands on. Late last year, the country was gripped by a series of mall robberies. This is the first attack on a Western Cape mall this year. Police have confirmed that no shots were fired during the incident and that nobody was injured. According to police, the suspects fled in a silver Mercedes-Benz, a white Audi A4 and a silver VW Golf 6, all with unknown registration numbers. The vehicles were parked in the mall's undercover parking. It's estimated that repair work to the jeweller that came under attack could cost up to R500,000. Leanne Jansen, Cape Town.
From power cuts to jewel thieves who pay for their parking, that's your Week in One. Have a great week. Take care.